Alright, hi everybody, this is me, Bonkai922, here to bring you Gangsta, because we're all about those gangsters, man, especially me. Welcome to Rage Time. Episode 2 of Gangsta. This was a different episode than last week. Basically, from what was shown, a lot more information. More importantly, a lot more information on Nicholas and what is, from what we're seeing in this episode, dog tags. And basically, the whole gist is that they're ex-mercenaries who have these dog tags, and they're referred to, like the dog tags mean beware of dog. Because usually, and what was it, Wilcock? I can't say that guy's name. He basically tells Alex the whole story behind it. How a dog tag would be representative of, for a dead soldier's body. You classify them by their dog tag. While in this scenario, it's not that. It's the dog tags represent these mercenaries who are of different class and different grade and so on and so forth. And Nicholas is basically A. And this guy, they encounter this guy. We get introduced to two other characters, Dr. Theo and Nina, his daughter. So, interesting kind of situation there. And basically the doctor has a clinic, and Nina shows up at their doorstep asking for their help with the Dr. Theo because they're these guys that are hustling of a gang. And the whole concept of the dog tags kind of interests me because later in the episode when they saw and the fight that Nicholas had, Nicholas is a fucking G, this guy. He's a fucking G. Like, he's deaf. Think about this. This guy is deaf, okay? He's deaf. He can't hear shit. And he fights this guy. His name eludes me. Doesn't really matter. He gets owned. And he actually gives this guy a handicap. And says, he basically ties up his sword, samurai sword, and doesn't use it. He's deaf, and he's giving this guy a handicap. What also I find interesting about this episode, the doctor. Doctor ain't no slouch. Him too. He can hold his own too. He's got like these. He had these syringes and shit. Because the guys who were with the B-class dog tag thug were gonna go after his daughter, and he basically just came out with a syringe and just inject shit into this one guy. And I'm like, yo. And already I'm seeing, okay, I think I saw a post in the J room or somewhere on Facebook where I think it was Oliver Pengy saying he didn't like the fact that people were comparing this to Black Lagoon. I mean, it is similar to Black Lagoon. I'm not going to say it's an exact similarity. No. An exact similarity to Black Lagoon would be that they would have, I mean, they do have that character. The character who is, but not really. And of course, I'm referencing, Alex, and she's like the rock of the group. But it's not the same thing. You could see it has a similarity to Black Lagoon, but it's not completely the same thing. But overall, this episode was good. The fight that Nicholas had with this guy was pretty boss. He takes care of business. He slices him, and Alex is like afraid of Nicholas, and it's kind of funny because after the whole scenario is taken care of, Captain Chad shows up. He takes them in. He's like pissed off because they didn't go to him originally, to let him know what they were going to be doing. And basically the doctor gives Alex this piece of paper, nothing written on it. It was very weird. And Nina basically tells her the reason why she's scared of Nicholas is because she doesn't know him. She doesn't know his past. Which I hope is going to come into fruition later on. Because, I mean, you can see it in the closing that there's something going on. Because she mentions twilight. I have no idea what that means. But something about twilight, and we see a scene where you see Nicholas as a child, and you see someone going for him, which is Wilcott. I'm not sure. I think I said his name wrong. I don't think it's Wilcott. It's something else. But anyway, that's basically what happens. And then they leave. Alex basically leaves with him, Wilcott. I said that correctly. I apologize if I didn't. And then we get to the other scene where the guy that they basically owned is confronted by the guy who sent him there. And basically he calls him like used goods, essentially. And I think he like sends these goons after him right in front of him. And they got like these, and they basically oh yeah, they just did kill him pretty much. I think they use him or some shit like that. But that's basically what happened in the episode. Overall, I did like this episode. I thought it was a lot more informative than last week. And now we know that, in the weird sense, a weird sense that Nicholas is to be feared. Then, But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. This show it's between this and Torah. That's what I believe. I mean, you could do some clarifications with other shows for the summer, but I think these two are the ones in the forefront. I can't see anything else. There are a few shows here and there, the romance shows, the comedy shows, if there's any. The ones I'm watching. But I think these two are like in the forefront because they're the most well made and better. And even though the opening of Gangster, I don't feel for it, it's not. The closing definitely is really good. And I see a relationship developing where Alex finds out more about Nicholas and go from there. I just like Nicholas. He doesn't talk. I mean, he talks sometimes when he was like fighting. He says like and you could hear him murder under his breath and so on and so forth. But it's so interesting to have a character like this because you basically down the road, I would say, hearing his thoughts, and he's not like he doesn't talk. So it's like most of the time he doesn't talk, and he's using sign language, and that's an interesting way to develop some interesting dialogue between characters. I really do think so. I think he's going to be one of the most interesting characters in this show as we go along. But from what I'm seeing so far, good shit. Episode 2, 4.5 out of 5. Next week's episode is called the actual name of the town. So basically, we get like details about the town that they live in and what transpires in there. Because Nina tells Alex also in this episode that, oh, she's used to it. Crazy town. Pretty much like the cops don't run anything. It's all about the gangsters, and that's why Nicholas and Warcock, they're like, you could say that they're the higher, they're the guys the police go to handle this shit in order to protect the citizens and stuff. So, I'm Balkan922. I'll see you guys later. Nicholas is a G. This guy is amazing. I really think so. I think he's... This show, solely on the fact that Nicholas can't hear, automatically I'm interested. I'm dead serious. I know it sounds corny, but the fact that this guy's deaf and he's doing all this shit in this show, amazing. And you know you're going to see a very tragic past from him. So, look forward to it. I'll see you guys